I might be destined to be alone forever, but you guys might not be. Everyone knows that the quickest way to anybody's heart is through anime, but failing that, DIY jewellery is nearly as good. Everyone knows that DIY presents are the best, especially when it comes to Valentine's Day. So in this video we're going to make some love themed jewellery. Let's get into it. And to make this jewellery we will be using polymer clay. In this video I'll be using two different colours of polymer clay, red and white, both from Fimo Soft. I will be using a dough cutter, an acrylic roller, an acrylic slab, heart-shaped cookie cutters, a couple of good old lollipop sticks, a hand drill, some jump rings, UV resin, and a bunch of other stuff. But with all that sorted, let's get started. First up, we are going to condition the clay. This just means folding it in on itself multiple times until it is soft and ready to work with. Do this for all types of clay that you're using. I usually find it easier to condition all clay first before I get started on the project. Make sure between using different colours of clay that you wash your hands. You don't want to contaminate the types of clay. I do a little bit in this video. Next we are going to roll them out into snakes and cut them into pieces. Mix different amounts of clay together so that you get a different ratio of colours, like a gradient. While I'm mixing them, I'm doing exactly the same thing that I did while I was conditioning the clay, and doing it over and over again until it is a solid colour. Put them in a nice order and then roll them out using the acrylic roller. You should be left with something that looks like it could be a pride flag. And then plop some cookie cutters down. I'm having a big heart for the necklace and two small hearts for some earrings. I don't like wasting clay, so I'm going to take the rest, roll it into a nice ball. I'm not going to mix it enough that it becomes a solid colour, but enough that it has a nice marble texture to it. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing again. While I'm at it, I'm going to roll out some of the leftover red clay and imprint some small little bits of white and pink clay into it. And then cut out a big heart using cookie cutters again. I think this design looks really nice actually, I'm really happy with it. So bam, now we've got hearts, what do we do? To the oven! I put them in for 30 minutes at 110 degrees Celsius, as per packet instructions. Now that they are out of the oven, they are nice and hard, so it's time for a little bit of filing. I'm not doing anything major here, they're already pretty smooth. I'm just getting rid of any lumpy edges that make it look slightly less professional. Next I'm just giving them all a nice clean before I drill some holes into them. I'm putting the hole as near as the top as possible, just so it's easier to attach some jump rings. Like so. I did try drilling some holes into the top of the hearts, but they were slightly too thin. And thus when I ended up screwing in the eyelet, it unfortunately cracked. Which is why for most of the hearts I have just done a hole straight through the front. Once we have finished with all that, it's time to brush on some UV resin. I'm using this cool little contraption thing that I have that I usually use to display jewellery. It just saves me from having to do each side at a time. You don't have to use UV resin, you could just leave it, or there's plenty of other finishes that you could use. After all that UV resin is nicely on there, I'm just curing it using a UV light. You could also just chuck it outside for a little bit. It doesn't take long. Now I'm just finishing off, I'm attaching the hooks to the jump rings for the earrings, cutting off an appropriate length chain for the necklace, and then
hooking that through the jump ring that's attached to the heart. And then for these necklaces, you need to attach jump rings to both ends. And a clasp so that you can open and close the necklace. And there we have it, we are finished. I know nobody asked, but I'm pretty darn happy with how it all turned out. Especially the necklaces, I really like the necklaces.
Thank you so much for watching, guys, I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.